Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
I request today's project chairperson, JC Uma, to please start the meeting.
Thank you, Ravi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to you all from JCI Vizag. Thank you for your time and interest in today's session. I'm JC Uma, project chairperson for today's session. I welcome all the participants to an exciting 2.5-hour journey on business in crisis. I request everybody to please pay attention. You can post your questions in the question answers box, that's a Q&A box, and request you not to use the chat box for greetings. You can use the chat box for responding to the questions raised by the trainers. I hope you all have a pen and notepad ready for the session. Without any further delay, I request JCI Vizag 2020 President, JCHGF AR Joshi Raju to start the proceeding. Over to you, Joshi Garu.
Hi, good evening. JCI Vizag online business training titled Business in Crisis, organized on 19th May 2020 is hereby called to order. Good evening. Hope everyone is safe at home and enjoying the homemade food. Coming to the point, the reason behind this training is our business are affected by COVID-19. So this session is about how to handle our business during and after crisis and how to explore the new opportunities around us. I'm sure you will get new insight from this session. I request you active participant. And present tasked by JC Uma Alluri.
Right, thank you. A leader who is creating wonders with his creative ideas, an exemplary character and dedicated JCI member. Born in Chemanuru family, hailing from Thrissur, with post-graduation in Commerce and Business Administration. He is a marketer and importer of cosmetics brand and seasonal products. As a social leader, he was the president of the Changanacheri Merchants Youth Wing from 2013 to 2017, and a PTA president in the year 2016 to 17 of a prestigious institution under Christu Jyoti Group. He is married to JC Linu Anish and blessed with 2 kids, Mathew Anish and Elizabeth Anish. He joined JCI Changanacheri Town in 2007, a financial board member of Zone Conference 2009, and won Zone President Excellence Award as a long president in 2014. Bagged 5 national recognitions for Zone Director programs in 2016, gave excellent growth and efficiency to status to the zone he headed. A total contribution from the area A crosses 35 lakh and 2 ZPs conferred JCI PPP. He attended 2 Asia Pacific conferences, 2 World Congresses, 6 national conventions, and 12 zone conferences. He is an able graduate. Let us all welcome together this passionate, dedicated person who is creating wonders as a leader, creating opportunities during our crisis time. Our 2020 National President, JCI India, and today's chief guest, JCI PPP, Anish C. Mathew Garu. Welcome, sir. And now, over to Joshi Garu. Over to Purvi Tonk.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Purvi, please go ahead.
I take a great pleasure in introducing JC S. Ravi Shankar, who has completed MBA and also LLB. He has joined JCI in 1986. He was Zone President in 1993 and was Outstanding Zone President of India. Was National President in 1999 JCI India was awarded as Outstanding Norm of the World in Cannes World Congress. Was JCI VP assigned to Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Singapore 1 and 2, Guam 2000. Was JCI World Treasurer in 2002. Was Administrative Committee Chairman, JCI India. He is married to Yamuna and blessed with a daughter, Sonia. He is practicing lawyer in Supreme Court of India with an expertise in the field of international and domestic arbitration. With this, I present JC S. Ravi Shankar to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Purvi. So now, these three wonderful ladies have collaborated today to take us through an insightful journey of learning and tips on handling business crisis. They are from JCI Netherlands. And here we go. Berith, a 38-year-old, is a channel marketer, retention for the largest telco in the Netherlands. Her specialty is retention management within multinationals. On a daily basis, she monitors why customers are unsatisfied and develops campaigns and programs to prevent customer churn. Within JCI, Berith has been a trainer since 2017 and has trained on many national and international events and leadership programs in Europe. Karlijn is an entrepreneur in heart and soul. At the age of 22, she started her own business, and in the past 15 years, she developed several businesses. She is frequently asked to be a business mentor and speaker. Her enthusiasm and passion for growing business is inspiring. Karlijn is married and has 2 sons. She joined JCI in 2005 and attended many international events and programs. She is JCI trainer since 2009 and senator since 2019. Janine is 38 years. She lives with her husband and 2-year-old daughter. She is a professional trainer and organizational advisor. In her day-to-day life, she helps businesses see what essential steps are next in business and what behavior fits these goals. She is a JCI member for 10 years now and national trainer in the Netherlands since 2012. She has trained on many national events and leadership programs in the Netherlands. Welcome, ladies, and over to the chairperson.
Chair recognizes the presence of 2020 President, JCI India, JCI Senator Anish Mathew. Chair recognizes the presence of 1999 President, JCI India, JCI Senator S. Ravi Shankar. Chair recognizes the presence of past and present JCI India, Zone 4 and LOM officers. I request today's special invitee, 2020 President, Zone 4, JCI India, JCI PPP, Rajita Poosarla, to please address the participant.
Good evening, dear JCs. Due to some technicalities, I couldn't on my video. Senator Ravi Shankar, sir, welcome to Zone 4. Really, this webinar has broke the boundaries of LOM, zone, and now nations. Yes, let me first congratulate the president of JCI Vizag from Zone 4, JCI Joshi, Raju, for organizing such a wonderful event in association with JCI Netherlands. Yes, this is the first event of Zone 4 in association with an international organization or the other norm. I feel very happy for this, and we also have our JCI mentor Ravi Shankar sir also. Sir, we are happy to have you here, and Anish Mathew sir. And I think today we, the members of Zone 4, are very lucky to have this training session on the business in crisis. Yes, in this pandemic situation, our businesses are in crisis. Exactly. the most of our Zone 4 members and most of our members of JCI India are from the business background, and this is an apt program and need of the hour. And I wish all the best, all the three beautiful and the talented faculty for today. I welcome you all to the stage of culture and state Andhra Pradesh, a Zone 4 JCI India. All my best wishes to team JCI Vizag. And once again, I welcome our National President, sir, and also Ravi Shankar, sir, to Zone 4. Thank you, President, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. And next, I request today our guest of honor, 1999 President, JCI India, JCI Senator Ravi Shankar, to please address the participants. Sir, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Thank you, President Joshi.
Thank you, sir.
Uma, Purvi, very respected National President, and the charming lady trainers who have come all the way from Netherlands. I'm very happy to be with all of you in this evening, because just in the afternoon, I was reading the India economic report after COVID, the expected prediction. They are telling that the second half of the 2021, we will be having a negative growth in the GDP. And so far, during the COVID period, Indians have 140 million people have lost their jobs. And from the predicted 6.9% of GDP, now this year it is going to fall to 1.9%. Friends, all these figures may just look like figures to all of us as of now. Once we go back to our own businesses, every one of us, we will feel the pinch of it. Not the pinch of it, bite of it. It is going to be a huge challenge for each one of us. I am a professional, but I will also have a huge impact in my business. Not only in business, let us not think this challenge only as a challenge for our income. It is going to change the way in which we are doing business. It is going to change the way in which we are doing our professional life. So I really appreciate JCI Vizag for organizing such a wonderful business training program in a very appropriate topic, so that the members who are present here strengthen their skills, their abilities, and understand what is going to happen tomorrow and face the world in a better way. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks to the trainers for taking pains to participate in this training. Thank you all. Thank you, Rajita, for the opportunity.
Thank you. I request today's chief guest, 2020 President, JCI India, JCI Senator Anish Mathew, to please address the gathering.
Yeah, thank you, Joshi, for this wonderful and nice initiative to go in a multi-dimensional and multi-international way. Congratulations, Joshi, and the ZP for Rajita, the home ZP Rajita, and your neighboring ZP Nalla, Sandosh Nalla, and our leader, the international face of JC India, and our mentor and our guide, past National President and Administrative Committee Chairman, Ravi Shankar sir. Today's, as our Chairman said, Administrative Committee Chairman said, the three charming ladies, Karlijn, Berith, and Janine, the three facilitators from all the way from the Netherlands, and all my dear participants. As our guest of honor has really touched about his professional difficulties during this COVID period. I'm really a pure businessman, especially in the field of cosmetics. So we are the people really suffering because of nothing is happening, no gathering is happening, no marriages in the high-spice style are happening, no public programs are happening. Now, we recently saw a ad of having the lipstick manufacturers are fell down from the chairs because of the mask. No one can use the lipstick also. So this kind of crisis are really we are facing. Different type of people are facing in, especially in the field of event management, tours and travels, hotel industries. They are really struggling. Maybe many of the people, we always say in the business rules that don't lay your eggs in single nest. You have to lay in different nests. But in reality, many of the people can't do. We all deposit and reinvest our profit and everything in a single business, or maybe one or two, maybe in much elaborated way. So this situations really the business people are really struggling. Still, I am sure that no one has not yet faced the actual situation. What is going to happen? Having some reserves with us, we are still moving with this lockdown period. So the post-lockdown period is a very challenging situation for us. For us, definitely, just like the theme which the world president has give upon, as a bridge the gap, we are really bridging the JC members to equip and to get ready for the post-COVID lockdown period, to bounce back, to recoup the whatever he has lost during this period and the probable losses which we can face during the post-lockdown period. This kind of trainings definitely helps to grab the ideas from one very renowned. I've been to Netherlands, luckily in a tour, holiday tour. So I've seen the areas, how they are developed and how the people are using the resources very well. So those ideas, those informations, those gatherings, and their entrepreneurship skills definitely will transform some changes to our members who are attending this today's training program. So especially congratulating Joshi once again for taking this innovative efforts of this business crisis, business in crisis. It's true. It's true. If I'm talking about, I have much more things to say about the crisis of our people. So let us enjoy the sessions and let's take some takeaway, which definitely turn around or maybe enable or equip, just like I said, reback after the post-lockdown period. We are the active citizens. We are the brand ambassadors of the JCI. We are the people who are making the sustainable change. Definitely, we can come back. Let's have a great enjoyment of lockdown period. After that, we can enjoy in our business. All the very best. Once again, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to address you before this August gathering. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, hand on the floor to the trainers, and I request them to address the participants followed by the trainers.
So, Joshi, just to make sure, you're handing the reins to us now, yes? Or
Yes,
do you
yes.
still want to? Do you want to start with the JCI Creed? Would you like to lead us through this?
We believe that faith in God,
We will have faith in God to give meaning and purpose to human life.
that the
Brotherhood of man and unity of nations, that economic justice
can best be won by free enterprise, that government should be of laws
rather than men,
rather than of men, that earth's great treasure
human
personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life.
Mission.
To provide development opportunities that empower young people to create a positive change.
So technique is a wonderful thing, isn't it, Joshi? Just when we are finished, you can look at it at the screen. Yeah. Thank you so much for leading us with the JCI Creed and our JCI mission, and I think that would be a nice introduction to the training of tonight as well, because tonight we have prepared 3 topics for you guys to get into the Corona crisis. But before I do so, maybe we could introduce everyone who is here. So we have made a brief outline of who is here together from the questionnaire you have filled in. So I will give the word to Karlijn and share our presentation with you right now.
Thank you very much, Janine. Thank you everybody for the nice introductions, and thank you for being here. When Janine started the screen, I'm gonna show who's here and what we took out of the questionnaire. So there we are. We use the new JCI template. Thanks to Berith. Okay, you've seen this in the presentation of Joshi. Let's start with the outcome of the questionnaire. So, who's here? We saw from the questionnaire there were almost 70 participants, registrations. On my screen, maybe I have to wait a little bit. Hold on. There it is. So of the participants, the age is mostly between the JCI age, which is between 26 and 40 years, but also half above and a bit under. So what we saw is 80% of the participants are JCI member, and we saw 13 different local organization members, which is really cool, and this is really an international session. So let's dive into what you said about your business, because this is a business online training about for business owners, for JCI members. And we asked the question, how did you enter the field of your business? And we were a bit surprised. We got the answer of 55% are doing what something they love from their purpose, which is very good sign. We also saw that 16% is continuing the business of the parents or elders. And we had some people who started business same as competitors or already in an ongoing market. And we had some various answers. What was also nice to see is how long are you an entrepreneur for? How old is your business, we asked. Hold on, I see a black box in the screen. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So on the question of all the participants, how old is your business? We saw that 2 to 5 years was 25%, 5 to 10 years 11%, and less than 2 years was 1/3 of the participants. So we can say that more than half of the people here in this session have a business younger than 5 years, and the other third is more than 10 years. Which is maybe interesting, with the things we're gonna tell about business in crisis. So we also asked, is your business affected by the lockdown? And that's a majority of people who said, yes, it is affected. Some big but the most of it, 75% said yes, 25% is not affected. And the final question we're looking into, hold on, I'm not going too fast. Yeah. One of the questions we asked is, have you restarted your operations? And there we saw that 21% was never stopped. And also 30% was not yet started due to the lockdown. And 43% potentially. So we're gonna look into that it's all the different parts, Janine, me, and Berith and me, and telling about. And we see 7% completely restarted, so that's a good sign. So now that we've dived into the participants, I want to give the word to Janine, and Janine is going to talk about the mindset of the business, the entrepreneur and business owner. So there you go, Janine.
Thank you very much, Karlijn. Thank you for this nice introduction. It's good to see that we have so much business people and knowledge here today. And today, this whole webinar, we're going to talk about 3 topics. And the first topic is the power of your mindset, because this crisis is affecting all of us. And this is the first time that the crisis is actually a worldwide crisis, and we're all in the same boat, which is, I think, a unique scenario, to be honest, because I don't think the world has ever been all on lockdown everywhere in the world, with everyone being affected in the same way. And I think that how your mindset is set right now, and how the crisis is affecting you as a person, your well-being, not only your physical well-being, but also your mental well-being, determines how you can actually be a great leader, as we as JCIs aspire to be the young leaders of the future. Of course, this is very important. The next topic that we will talk to you about will be your business, your current business, and what elements are making your business. So we were talking about your employees, your products, your customers. What are their wants at this moment, and what can you do for them right now? And then the last part is going to be about business scenario planning. So what can we do for the next couple of 3 to 6 months, and look at external factors as well. How do they influence our business, and which parts should we continue, and what would be the way forward for us right now? But before we dive into that, I think this Corona crisis is really a wake-up call to us all. One of the main things as humans is that we feel a sense of belonging. And this is one of the important things that is under tremendous pressure right now. Not only for us as family members, and because most of the people in the Netherlands can't actually visit family members and so on. So you can't take care of your parents right now, which is which is sad. Well, I'm not sure what it is like in India right now, but I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any meetings with you guys either. And this also means that in this current time, a lot of old patterns that are not working anymore are now under stress. And this also means that the systems that we have built in the last couple of decades, even millennia, are now currently under pressure as well. Because I think this Corona crisis is actually challenging us to do things differently. And if we look at the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, I think it is a wake-up call from Mother Earth as well. What are we doing in our business? How can we actually be a visionary in our fields? How can we transform into a business leaders? So with this in mind, I would like to help you develop a positive mindset, because I think as a leader, the most important thing you can do for your employees and for your business, for your customers right now, is to be healthy as a person in your physical health, but also mentally. And as JCI, we believe in positive change. So I think this is one of the main points that we would like to bring across in this webinar. Yes, there is a lot of loss, and yes, there are a lot of businesses closing, and yes, maybe you might not be able to keep all your employees on board or employed, and this is sad, and it is okay to be sad about this. And on the other hand, it is also a great day to make a difference, to be actually contributing to the new normal, because I really hope that we're not going to go back to exactly to the way things were, but we're actually going to go and continue with whatever works, and that we're going to take that from the past Corona era, and actually take into account what are the changes that were due to be made anyway. So this is our viewpoint, that we should be positive also about the future, because I think from a positive standpoint, you can actually make progress. Now, having said that, which mindset are you in right now? Because your mindset as a leader influences your customers and influences your employees. Okay. Is everything okay? Yeah? Okay. So as I would like you to take some time to read these special zones. And the question on this is, who do I want to be during the COVID-19 crisis? Which mindset do I want to adopt? And to be honest, when the crisis started, this was the end of February for us, my agenda was cleared for the rest of the year. And this was kind of a shock to me, to my husband, of course, also, because I had a growing business going for 10 years strong already. So it is also an invitation to be creative in this time. Okay, so please take a minute to read the different zones and be honest with yourself. In which zone are you currently in? Are you in the fear zone, in the learning zone, or the growth zone? Okay, so if you have looked at this, I'm going to invite you into breakout rooms, because one of the most mentioned expectations from this business webinar was also to connect with other people. So we are going to provide you with a couple of opportunities to actually meet the other participants in this webinar and exchange some of your thoughts and visions on some of the topics that we are talking about, and what we would like to make this webinar as practical as we can, and make sure that you actually have some takeaways that you can apply on your business tomorrow. I see one raised hand. Do you have a question that I can answer for you? I see multiple raised hands. Maybe Karlijn, you can help me, or Berith, with giving them a turn.
I will ask the people who raise their hand, or the lowered hands. People who raise hands, I will give you the opportunity to start your video and unmute. So I'll check the hands.
Okay, thank you. Let me see.
Anish, maybe you want to ask something?
Yeah, sure. So what I would like to do is put you into breakout rooms in just a minute. And then what we will do is please discuss within among yourselves for about 10 minutes how you are affected personally, but also how your business is affected right now. So what is the mindset of you at the current moment as a leader, and how can we move on from this? So that would be my main question. So I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. Breakout room is just similar to the webinar we are in right now, but we are going to put you in a room with only 2 or 3 other people. So there can be interaction, and you are welcome to unmute yourself and have a discussion among yourselves. And it might be nice to also display your video if this is possible, of course, with your internet connection. So please have a nice talk together about on which zone you are currently in and which one you would like to go to. When you go into the breakout room, you won't be able to see the screen that we are sharing right now. So if you like, this might be a good moment to take a photograph so you can have this picture also, and we will add it to the group chat as well, so you can
Janine, I think you should share the screen one more time, because I see a video, not a screen. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I have some technical difficulties that I'm trying to overcome, but we'll be fine.
Just bear with us for a minute. We tested the technology earlier and everything was working fine, so we just need to switch a little bit. I saw some questions or some responses already in the chat. Some people said I'm in the growing zone, and then some people are saying I'm in the learning zone. It's good to hear that people are already moving on from the fear zone. I'm talking through it a little bit so Janine can actually well, figure out what's going on. I saw actually one raised hand. Let me look if I can find it again. Excuse me for my pronunciation. I saw, where are you?
He's Mr. Raju.
Sorry?
He's Mr. Raju.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you're on raised a hand. Can you explain why you have raised a hand, Vino? I'll unmute you.
He's unable to hear us. He says, please raise the voice.
Okay, so speak louder.
Yeah, speak
Okay,
louder.
sure,
That's
no
it.
problem at all.
Speak louder. Okay, is this better?
No, initially he had his issue with his audio. So I have had a chat with him. Now his audio is functioning, so it's fine. So his hand is lowered.
Hi, this is Raju.
Okay. So no questions then.
Yeah, now I am okay. I am getting voice. Thank you.
Okay.
Is it working, Janine?
No, it isn't. So maybe Berith, you can share the screen for us, and I'll join the meeting again.
I don't have it prepared, so let me check. Karlijn, do you have it on your screen already?
Maybe we should share the visual, only the visual.
In the chat.
Yeah, so give me a minute, I will look it up for you.
So again, I will talk you through. We're talking about 3 zones. We're talking about the fear zone, where people are still thinking, oh, how am I going to survive? Where do I get my food from? Where do I, how do I get through the day? What do I need to do? What I don't need to do? Which precaution do I need to take when it comes to like hygiene? When you enter to the next zone, you will more start to think, okay, so what can I learn? What can I get out of this situation? And recognize what's going on and what feelings am I experiencing. And when you are aware where you are, and then you will start to go into the zone that you want to, where do you want to be? Which person do you want to be? What do you appreciate? What do you think that you already have? And you think, okay, I'm very happy with this in my life. Could be like your environment, like your family, but also could be, well, I'm very happy about the business. So there are actually really 3 zones, and you continue to go through on when you through the different zones when you finished the prior one. But it's also very, like Janine said, it's about the mindset. You need to be able to think ahead. Where do you want to go? I hope this will support. She's almost there.
Almost there. So, and now I have the downloads, another screen.
Multitasking here from the Netherlands. So bear with us for a minute. Well, this is...
Here we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, so sorry about this, guys. Of course, this also happens in the Netherlands, unfortunately. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for covering for me, Karlijn and Berith. It should be all fine now.
Yeah, so I talked them through again through different zones. And I think this is a good moment to put them in the different breakout rooms so they can discuss this.
Yes.
Well, perhaps take a quick picture of this picture with your phone. If you want to.
Make a picture. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So have a good day together. Discuss, meet, and we will see you back in about 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So everyone is back again. Welcome back, everyone. We have noticed that sometimes the breakout rooms were working and sometimes not so much. So sorry about that. We will make bigger rooms next time. So at least one other person will be with you in the other room even if some other people might not have internet connection or not be able to speak to you. So we will make sure that the next breakout rooms will be bigger ones. So please let us know some of your insights. What have you experienced in the breakout rooms? Maybe you can type something in the chat, and I see a hand. I feel a little bit awkward pronouncing your names because I'm probably going to get it wrong, but I'm happy to pronounce it and maybe give someone a turn. I see one hand from Niraja.
She is Neeraja. Neeraja.
And I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name, but please let us know. What would you like to share?
Oh, that's totally okay. This breakout room thing is really interesting. You know, initially I was the only participant in the room, and after a couple of minutes, I have 3 to 4 people along with me. So I found, you know, one of my, you know, team members, is kind of in a dilemma what to choose. He's in both learning zone and growth zone. Majority of the S's are from growth zone, so I would say he's in growth zone.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
I'm really happy to see others in the room, you know. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you for sharing.
For many of the people, this is the first time, so they encountered these breakout rooms. So not clear what actually they are supposed to do. So how they can utilize that breakout room. So what activities are discussions they can have with the other participants. So many of them are not aware. So that led to some confusion.
Okay, okay, thank you for sharing. We will make sure in the next breakout room, we will introduce it again and make sure that everyone knows that this is a time for interaction and talking, because if you have to listen to us for 2.5 hours, everyone will be asleep by the end of at about 10 o'clock, everyone will be asleep, no good. You have to, and at least we can't run your business, you have to do this yourself. So we would like to inspire you to be able to run your business more smoothly, even when there is a crisis right now. So we hope we had some technical crises that we had to overcome, but we're okay now. So I hope we can continue. So interesting thing about this mindset is that it doesn't only affect you, of course, it also affects your customers, and it also affects your employees. And this is a big question that you have to answer for yourselves, but also for your employees. How can I be a good leader? How can I be inspiring and take them through this crisis as well? Because this is expected of you as a business owner and as a leader, that you provide them with the knowledge and the motivation to continue even when it gets tough. And I think we can all agree that things are getting really tough at the moment. And I'm glad to hear. I had a conversation with Uma and Ravi before, and Joshi, and we were glad to hear that all the limitations are soon to be at least a little bit lifted, so there can be some movement and some business going on again. And the main thing I think is to prepare yourself for this right now. So I'm going to go a little bit into the psychology because I am an organizational psychologist, and I would like to take you on a journey through your mind, because every time something happens and there is an event, of course there is going to be thoughts that come into your mind, and these thoughts influence your emotions, and emotions actually influence your behavior. So you think that you're going to react on an event, but if you would like to react differently on a certain event or something that is going to happen, first you have to go through this cycle, maybe the other way around. So if you notice that things are happening, and for instance now this is a crisis, and you feel that you are getting blocked because anxiety takes over for you, because you have anxiety about if your business is actually going to continue, or if your employees are going to be able to eat at the end of the week, or if your family is going to be okay. This actually prevents you from being able to be effective as a leader. So every behavior that you actually experience right now with yourself, with the event of the corona, it is interesting to see what emotions are at play at your heart right now and what thoughts they are provoking. So I think this is an interesting time because, of course, this time it is difficult to stay calm, to not stress out, and be able to think clearly. And I think this is exactly what is expected of you as a leader in your community and in your business. So what you can actually do is be aware of your own behavior and know that it stems from emotions and thoughts. And the only way you can change how you look at an event is by being really honest to yourself and looking in the mirror and being honest about what kind of emotions and thoughts are actually at play right now for you. So I'm just going to see if there are any questions. If you have any questions, please let us know. Make some remarks in the chat or maybe raise your hand. We are very welcome. You are very welcome to ask any questions you have, because this is important for you as a leader to be aware of. Because if we look at behavior and what makes behavior effective, it actually comes down to what you believe in. And if your belief is that your company is going to go out of business because of the crisis, this is exactly what you will, this is exactly what will happen. So what can you do as a leader and as a manager, what can you do for your employees, for your customers? This is it. The belief that you can actually mean something for them, the belief that you actually have some value that you can offer them. And this brings you to the potential. So how can you make sure that you have your full potential at work as a business? First, you have to believe that you can actually do something even when it is crisis. So a firm belief that you are of value means that you can also look at your potential. What potential things do we have? What do I have to offer my employees, but also what do I have to offer to my customers? And we're going to go into what your business has to offer for your customers next after this. But right now, I want you to focus on what is my value as a person, because every person matters, and a positive mindset will make sure that you actually reach your potential and come into action, and that these actions actually will result into the results that you want to achieve. And this cycle can also be a positive cycle, but it can just as easily become a negative cycle, because if you believe that your company will be going out of business because of the crisis, this is also the potential that you are putting into your business. So please be aware of your beliefs and make sure that you use your potential as a person. So I would like to invite you to go into one more breakout room. Let me check if we still have time. Yes, we still have some time. So I'm going to put you into another breakout room, and I would like you to discuss with the persons who are in this room with you together, what is the potential that you have? What are some of your strengths? Please remind yourself and remind the others in the meeting, what are your strengths? What do you have to offer, even in a time of crisis? What is it that makes you what makes you a very unique person? What is your potential? So we are going to go back into breakout rooms, which are small meeting rooms with just a few people. And you are very welcome to share your opinions on the questions I just asked. So what is your potential? Okay, so we're going to go back into breakout rooms, and we're going to allow you for about 5 to 10 minutes to just talk among yourselves And I'll make sure that the rooms are a little bit bigger, so there should be at least 2 or 3 persons to talk with this time. Okay. Yes. Okay. There we go. So if there are any more questions that need to be answered.
No, there are no questions.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Then I will open all the rooms and I will invite you to talk among yourselves about what is my potential. So we would like to hear some of your responses. So maybe you can type something in the chat.
Yeah, shall I, ma'am?
On what is your potential as a business owner and as a family member? What is your potential? What can you contribute to your community? Please write something in the chat or raise your hand so we can see that you would like to share something with the whole group.
Janine, if I can take the lead.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So I was just speaking with a co-participant in the breakout, and what we realized is one key aspect is pre-COVID to post-COVID. When it comes to potential, you know, the belief has increased for a lot of people. What we believed previously that we could not do, that has totally changed during the lockdown. We are much more, you know, the inner talent has come out and the potential is doubled. So we just need to know where to put this potential, because we need to wait and see how the market reacts. So transferring the skill is important now. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing sharing this with us, because this is very useful to us as well. I experienced the same thing, because at the beginning of March I didn't have any assignments anymore. No paid work anymore for the rest of the year, and I was like, oh, panicking. I was like, oh, what to do now? And then in the week to follow, I was just like, okay, let me see, what can I offer my clients? And I just phoned a couple of them, and they answered me with what they needed. And from that, I actually sort of rebuilt my whole business again, and gave a lot of online training, masterclasses, and so on different topics than I usually train on. But to have a clear view of what your potential is on the one hand, and be curious and open to doing things in a different way is very beautiful. So thank you for sharing, Uma, with us. And I see many raised hands. So where to start? Let me start with Sunil Nanipati.
Sunil.
It's Sunil. Yeah.
Sunil.
Myself, Sunil, madam.
You have to speak up
a little louder, Sunil Garu.
Okay. So myself, Sunil, ma'am. So my thing, I was an assistant professor in one Gowtham University. So my potential was tremendously increased. Previously, I used to only teach. Now I used to now in this lockdown, I've learned how to publish, how to recreate myself, how to organize some kind of events. Because of JCI, I have learned so many kind of things, how to handle the pressure. Okay, I think some kind of things I was not having enough time during the college times and all. I could learn so many kind of things, and I can share so many kind of people, such that my potential got tremendously increased, and my productivity got something like 50% increase compared to the previous kind of my experience and all. So I think this will be some of the great opportunities. And like, even though I was there in the 8 years of my teaching, like I will be having some kind of shy while shy while teaching the students and all. After this, giving so many kind of webinars and so many kind of lessons to the students, I think my focus got tremendously shifted, as well as my words and my wavelength also got tremendously increased because of this. Thank you.
So this is such a nice response of you as well, Sunil. So you have actually learned a lot of new skills during this crisis time, because college was closed. It opened it opened other doors for you. Yeah, this is so nice. Thank you. I see two more raised hands from. Yes, Joshi, please help me with the names because I feel a little embarrassed. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Hi, Janine. This is Vamsi here. We run a play school, kindergarten school, wherein actually it's quite difficult, to address the children, the separation, because at play school level, we teach them to mingle, share, care, and love each other. It's going to be really tough time to do that. But since I have skills on digital marketing and also software skills, so that now we are trying to, develop a curriculum for the children so that they can, continue their studies. We are just waiting for the government to open up the schools and we can contribute to the society, and we can say that we can still have kindergarten schools running successfully.
That sounds really fantastic. Yes. Well, we see a lot of differences between schools in the Netherlands even. And most of us have a computer or an iPad or something of digital learning at home. But still, there's a lot of difference between schools. Some schools have classes every day, and some schools just talk to the students once every 2 weeks. So everyone is trying to find a common ground or see how to do things, and this also gives us a lot of opportunity to try new things out, because I think we're a little bit more forgiving if things don't work out, like our technical difficulties that we had during this webinar. I'm so sorry about that, Joe. But thank you for sharing. And I see more hands. So Joshi, maybe you can help me with the names that I'm using.
Ramakrishna Garu, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
My best skill are, my proficiencies, my friendliness, and my networking.
Okay.
And I worked with Alsys long time, so I think you know that company, offshore company. And two things to remember. One is all the JCI members most of them are, very good public speakers. Any platform you give like this, they will start and, they can drag everybody away from the topic. And other thing, when you are creating chat rooms is, we are so fond of, networking. When you have a chat room, everybody just want to, introduce themselves and, go with like what you are doing, and whatever topic you are giving, it is just blown in the air. We are just doing our own networking. So when you create next chat room, please remember this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Instead of telling our strengths, we are just going like what troubles you are facing or what you are doing.
Yes, of course, and I understand because normally
we are all humans first.
Yes, of course, I understand, because normally we would meet and there would be a waiting room and you can talk to each other, and now you're just being put into a room and you have to...
Yes, and one best thing for Joshi is he can create a separate group for all these people, who are attending for this training. And we can interchange our skills and our strengths. It will be mutual benefit to everybody.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead with your topic. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Joshi, we have time for one more question and then we're going to have a short break.
Okay. JC Pravina, can you please switch on your mic?
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Namaste, ma'am. I'm JC Pravina. And I belong to Zone 4 JCI Vizag Metro from Visakhapatnam. And first of all, I would like to be very thankful to the President of Vizag Smart for conducting an international class for us. It was really very fortunate to attend your class, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's really a right time for us to attend, as we all are in a crisis. More than a financial crisis, we are in a fear that we will be surviving further or not. How the kids of us will be surviving. If we die, what happens to them? These all were, wandering from our mind. But thank you so much. You have given so many support to us. And I'm thankful to trainer also. Janine ma'am and Berith ma'am, and also Karlijn ma'am, and other team of Vizag Smart. I'm an advocate ma'am, working and as an advocate, and also I'm panel advocate for DLSA, that is related to a government organization. We go to the slum areas and educate the poor people about their rights and duties, and also get the try our best to get the justice for themselves without charging any fee from them. Party of our service. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much too. And we're very happy to have you present here today. So thank you for joining us. Because otherwise it would be an empty room and we have nobody to talk to. Huh? So you are just as important as we are. So thank you for joining. Yes, I think this might be a good time to have a short break where everyone can have a cup of coffee or something else to drink, maybe some water, or refresh for a little bit, and then we will continue this webinar a little bit past. Now I have to think it's 9:30 now, Joshi. Is that all right? Is that correct?
It's a 9.
I'm sorry?
9:26.
It is 9:26. So we will reconvene at 9:32.
Okay.
Yes, so everyone, 5 minutes, and then we will be back. And then I will introduce Berith to you, and she will talk to you about your business, what all the elements are that are already available to you, and how you can actually reshuffle them and make it into something else. See you soon. If everyone is present again, so we can start again.
We are present now.
Okay, fantastic. Then we will resume. There we go. And before we resume, I would like to introduce Berith. We saw that there are a lot of participants who joined the meeting a little bit later. Berith is one of the retention advisors at Vodafone Ziggo here in the Netherlands, and she specializes in how to retain your customers, even in times of crisis, and even when they might have some complaints. And Berith will zoom into the business side of things. So, how can you actually see what the business, what your business has to offer, which elements are up for restructuring? Because I think this time we'll ask of all of us to see what potential we have, which elements we have, and how we can combine them to be useful to as our customers. So Berith, I'm very happy to introduce you as our next trainer, and take it away.
Oh, thank you, Janine. Yeah, well, this whole crisis started as a health crisis to make sure everybody's safe, but it is slowly developing in an economic crisis. And as your previous president said, it will become a major economic crisis throughout the year or perhaps years. And therefore, it's important to really go back to the core business. So what is your core business? And I want to take you back to that through actually 3 basic questions to, well, hope you guide you or give you some tooling that you can use for the next couple of weeks, perhaps months, depending on how long the situation is already during. Like Janine said, my experience of my expertise is retaining customers. Instead of just acquiring, it's always good to just look at the customers that you already have and how can you help them profit from them or expand your business within your current customer base actually. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let me see if my remote is working. Yeah, should be. Yeah, it is. So, like I said, we're going to do that around 3 basic questions. The first one is which. So where do you should focus on? Where should you spend your time on? And then we're talking about which customers? Are we talking about which products or which service you provide? And yeah, is it going? Yeah, it's working. Sorry, there's a slight delay in what I'm saying and in what is shown on the screen. So, like I said, you need to think about which customers, because some of you have like a business that is in B2B, and it could be a little bit easier to focus on the most important customers. But if you have a B2C business, then and you have perhaps 100 or 100,000 of customers, it's very difficult to know where to prioritize. And there is actually basing B2B and B2C, I see also joining it. There's a difference between those two businesses, because when you're in B2B, you know where your customers are and who they are. But if you're a B2C, they're usually speaking of mass, and then you need to focus. I advise you to use the Pareto effect. And Pareto's effect says actually that about 20% of your customers or product or services is responsible. Let me see if it goes. There's a little translation delay. No, yeah. Yeah, it's about, so 20% of your business is responsible for 80% of your profit. It is a classic rule, but it is important to know which 20% is responsible for 80% of your profits. And this is called the Pareto effect. I have a small video that actually explains it a little bit more. So Janine, perhaps can you start the video?
I will.
Thank you so much. I already see answers coming in.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is only going to be a minute of film, guys.
Yeah, short video.
So in 1906, Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto found that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Now this 80-20 distribution became quite famous for occurring over and over again in many scenarios. For example, about 20% of the world's population control about 80% of the world's income. You wear about 20% of the clothes in your wardrobe about 80% of the time. About 20% of a business's customers account for 80% of their complaints. This is known as the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. Now as a note, this shouldn't be taken as some sort of universal law that occurs in all situations. Exceptions can be made and one should always be critical. But that being said, it's an extremely effective tool to analyze your own life and be more productive. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have a daily to-do list with 10 things to do every day. Using the Pareto principle, you want to figure out what are the 2 most important things that will give you the majority of your results. And once you figure this out, you want to spend 80% of your effort on these 2 things and the rest on the remaining 8 things to do. This means that even if you don't manage to complete most of the things you wanted to do, you at least get the important things out of the way. The concept is very simple, but the ways you can apply it are endless. The point here isn't the numbers, but rather to simplify your life and focus on what truly matters. Know someone who needs to improve their productivity? Share this with them and give us some love by hitting that like button. And if you want to see more, just subscribe.
So this was a short illustration to give a little bit more information about how the 80-20 rule actually works. And I highly recommend if you use it. I'm asking Janine if you can hide something on the screen because I have a black, yeah, no, it's still there. Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. So in this case, I'm talking about 20% of the customers that's responsible for 80% of your profits. But it can also be that 20% of your products or the services that you provide can have that same effect. So I strongly encourage you to look at your figures of your own company, of your business, and to figure out which 20% is responsible for 80%. So you know which customers or products to target and where your main focus should be. I think I have the responsibility to click through, Janine, is that true? Yeah, now I have. Thank you. Yeah, so we've been talking about which customers, which products, which services, where should you be focused on? And then, okay, then now you know where to focus on. What are you going to do? Because, well, have you thought about that? Have you been busy with that already? I saw a lot of you actually never really stopped the business, but continued, but very partially. And you want to expand that. You want to make sure you reach every opportunity there is at this moment, or think about every opportunity there is at the moment. So that's why I want to talk to you about what can you do? Let's talk about what can you do for a little bit. Let's see if it's working. Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? So if you, basic business is that you usually have a supply and try to match the demand. But nowadays, the business is going to be backwards. You need to figure out what the demand is and if you can support that supply. There are many examples actually at the moment that people or businesses are trying to turn around. One of them, I think the basic businesses that we see is in the Netherlands, there's a beer company that make beer which uses alcohol. And as we all know, alcohol is also responsible for their hygiene. So what they started to do is to transfer their business or to use the waste product of their beer consumption, which is alcohol, and created a new product, which is hand sanitizer. So what are they going to do? They're going to use their waste product and try to figure out what the demand is and provide that to your customer. So instead of pushing your product or pushing your services, you should pull what is necessary out of the business, what is in the market at that moment. Switch it. That's actually what I'm saying. And never waste a product or services or capacity, and whether that's in teaching skills when you're in primary school, or when you have buildings that you can use, or labor or people that actually can build something. Use the waste product that's there at the moment. So then you figured out what you're going to do, but then, okay, so what are you going to say? And to whom are you going to say that? Well, first of all, it is a good thing to know that everybody's struggling with their business, not you, just you. It is your customer as well. Whether it's if they're going to survive as a business itself, or whether they're going to have a job tomorrow, they are struggling. And you need to figure out what they're struggling with and how can you help them with their struggles. Because it is all about making money, because if they don't make money, you won't make money. It's a circle. In Dutch, we have always a saying is that money needs to roll. And because it's a coin, and usually when you, try to flip it, it will follow downhill. And in this case is that it's a circle. You can make money if your customers make money, and your customers can make money if they have an income. So the supply chain needs to be continued, or in this case can be pushed a little bit. Is it working? Yeah, next slide. There's a little delay. Yeah. So then we've been talking about what you're going to do, what you're going to say, and then you need to talk about what you're going to offer. Because perhaps what you've offered in the past is not what they need anymore in the future. And rather that is perhaps, instead of that you had a product that you delivered, perhaps they can pick it up, or other way around. Or whether it is your JCI network, because, we're talking with a lot of entrepreneurs here in this business. And perhaps you can connect people together or businesses together or make combinations of new businesses. There are many, many, many examples, but you need to talk to each other about that. So we've been talking about which customers. We've been talking about what to do, what to say, what to offer. Okay, we've done that. And then you need to figure out how to communicate with them. Which topics, which message. And sometimes it's basic. Sometimes it's just, why isn't it working? I'm sorry that I'm been struggling with this. Yeah.
Je houdt je rechtermuisknop in plaats van de linkergat.
Sorry?
You're using the wrong mouse button.
Okay, sure, thanks. So how are you going to contact your customers? Perhaps just call them. Who has ring them up? I would wonder, I think it's a good thing to discuss later on is who actually called their customers and asked, well, what do you need? How can I help? How can we do business together? You can contact them via chat or WhatsApp or Messenger or Telegram. But you can also put up an ad in the newspaper saying you're open for business. Perhaps you can join your businesses together and put up an ad together and say, okay, so these businesses are open and you can contact us if you want to do business together. Let's see what's next one. I think you should use your social media as well. Inform your customers that you're open, or which products do you still supply, or which services do you still offer. People are not aware that business still continues, because actually I was quite surprised that I read that a majority of the businesses was still open or partially open. Because I know you're in a total lockdown, because if I don't know, your customers doesn't know it either. And you can inform them via newsletter. That can be on email or company paper, telling them what you actually do. You can tell them that you follow this webinar and that you're evolving and making sure that you have businesses after the Corona crisis to supply them, to foresee them from their needs. And as last, you can always send emails, well, saying, hey, here I am, don't forget about me. Well, because I don't forget about you. And sometimes, before we go to the assignment, sometimes we forget that simple stuff matters. And that's why I'm talking about it. That's why I'm talking about that letting people know that you're open, letting people know what can you supply, which education, which products, with services, what can you do, and letting them know and ask them what they need. So you can exchange that. I see a question raised. Let me see, what's the question? Yeah,
no questions at this time, Berith, thank you.
No, okay. So let's go on. I think I gave you a lot of examples and asked you a lot of questions.
We have one question still. Let me see.
Yes, one hand raising, I see.
Yeah,
maybe you can help us.
So we're going, for the next one, we're going to use the breakout rooms again, because I've been asking you a lot of questions and probably your brain is going like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this, or perhaps I should do this. And I think it's good for you to talk among yourselves about what of these elements is relevant for you. So I want you to have, well, at least 10 minutes to talk about which customers, which products, which services are you going to target when you're still during the crisis. Second of all, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? What are you going to offer? Perhaps you can come up with something together you can offer. And last, I'm going to ask you, how are you going to reach your customers? So, how?
May I suggest that we give them 15 minutes because the breakout rooms are a bit bigger and they want to use the time for networking as well. So make sure you answer the questions together, and then there's always a room for networking. But make a picture of the sheet. Hold on, can you move the block, Janine? And then if you have a picture of the sheet, then you go into the breakout rooms. We give 15 minutes in the breakout rooms, and then we come back and ask you to share your thoughts and your insights with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so Karlijn, maybe you could copy the questions and put them in the chat as well. Would that be possible? Then I can open the breakout rooms at the same time.
So I hope the assignment is clear for everyone. I want you to talk among yourselves about which customers, which products, which services are you going to target. Then you know what are you going to target, what are you going to offer or say or provide them to your customers. And if you figured out that, then you're going to into the how. How are you going to reach them? Which tools are you going to use to make sure that your customers are aware that you are still there as a business and still available for business?
Okay.
So Karlijn has put the questions for the assignment. I think everybody's back again. Let me see. Yeah, I have a lot of people on my screen again. So I've asked you to ask yourselves actually, well, 3 major questions. Well, there are large topics actually. So that's why we gave you an extra 2 minutes to discuss about it. And I am very interested to know and to learn what you've been talking about and what, well, if there's anything what you can share with us again. And I'm asking Joshi if you can help us out by pointing out who we can give the
microphone
to you. So if you can raise your hand if you want to share what you've been talking about in breakout rooms, please do so. Maybe Uma, you can help out.
Yeah, I'm just saying who can help. I was with Ravi Garu and Brahmaji Garu. So Brahmaji Garu, would you like to add a few words on what we have spoken about meeting customers back again?
Neerja has her hand raised.
Is it? Oh.
Yes,
hello. So we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Nina, it's me. I have.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you tell us what you've been talking about in breakout rooms?
So it is an opportunity you can give. You have to see who is going to receive, and we have to tune to their need, whatever it is. Then only go together.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
If I can sum up, we were just speaking about, you know, how, like, as I said, there's a connection between our end product and theirs is the product, you know, which picks it up, like from automobile. So they are the end users, and so how we are able to connect to the customers post lockdown through various channels. And he was speaking about how entry-level people, accountability matters a lot. So it comes back even to employees and their accountability. So we were speaking on those aspects.
Yeah. So you've been talking about businesses that actually got connected in the circle. So a supply chain actually.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, you already found businesses among each other. So that's actually a good example of that, how you can help each other. I see Nir, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Nirja, please go ahead.
Your hand is raised?
Yes, yes. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
See, well, actually the breakout room was a little funny because I was with 3 people initially and then pushed out and moved into other room which has 5 other people. But in both the groups, what I have understood is, post lockdown, B2C kind of businesses are might come back, fall in track very soon compared to this B2B. When we were discussing about customers, what we understood is at times working in synergy with other businesses also. For example, I have an organic store which is pretty much in demand. The products are pretty much in demand, but unfortunately, because of lockdown, there's no stock at all to sell. So what I did was I started calling up other organic stores in nearby places, and I procured products from there and started selling. So that's how the money was flowing, and I'm little okay. But the problem is for a few people who supply this raw material to other businesses. They basically do a business on credit basis. So one of my co-participants was telling almost 70 lakh rupees, it's stuck.
Yeah.
He's kind of struggling. He doesn't know how to get it back. Now, my question to you is, what he was telling is, I'm also thinking to start another business, which is completely of different line, just to cope with this situation. So what do you suggest? Would that be okay to get into a business which is totally different just to manage the situation?
Yeah, you want to get your cash flow going on. So I understand that if the cash flow blocks, and if people are on credit and not able to spend more money, and your cash flow is stopping, that you go find another way or another business to get cash flow running again. I think that's always good. But then again, also look at the core business. Are there elements in that core business where you get your current income from? If you can figure out if you can expand that, perhaps there's a difference. There's a different 20% of your product or customer base that are interacting at the moment than it was prior to Corona, that you can use to inspire to get a new business. Yeah, definitely.
Oh wow!
But I think it's also good to use your network as they are here. Perhaps they are in use of something that you can provide. Did you ask your network where they're struggling with? Because then perhaps you can step into that business.
Yeah, it's like diamond seller, selling vegetables just to cope with the situation. So, and you're telling it's totally fine.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, why not? You need to eat, right? And your family needs to eat as well. And well, everything needs to go.
Very true.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I'm interested if there were another conversation. Can someone share what they've been talking about? Please raise your hand so we can give you time to speak.
And if you have something you would like to share, so maybe you are stuck with certain products, or you would like to make sure that they are moved to someone else, please let us know in the chat as well. So maybe there's someone here in a meeting who could actually use what you still have in stock and are not able to sell at the moment. Maybe someone else can use it for some other products that they are actually making at the moment. So please feel free to use the chat for this purpose also. And I saw a raised hand by Pravina.
Pravina,
hello,
can you hear?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you.
This is not about for me. I will ask about a lady who is running a trust, and she is taking care of physically and mentally handicapped people who are making jute based bags and cloth bags. And due to this issue of Corona, the sale and the sale of the stock has been stuck totally, and they have taken a loan from the people to prepare and get the material. Now the material has been ready, but nobody is there to purchase. So this is a big problem for them, that how they can sell this product, because people are not coming out. The finance has been stuck. The amount is not flowing out. Then the way they can get money this is the only problem for her, which I want a solution for her. This is a purely service purpose, ma'am.
Is it possible for people to like pre-order stuff that you actually?
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Is it possible to pre-order so that you perhaps can postpone the delivery of the goods, but already have the order to?
They have the stock, ma'am. They have the stock.
You have the stock.
They have the stock ready.
Ask her
Yeah.
the paper.
But I'm asking if your customers can pre-order at you so that you can deliver your product later on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we can do that.
Is that something you offer them already?
Not like that, but if anybody is ordering pre, so we are ready to deliver it.
Can I add something? Is the sale also online or is it only in a store?
No, ma'am. Online, I can make it. I can help them for the online.
Okay.
Because they are not that much educated, as I told you. The people, the laborers who prepare, they are mentally and physically handicapped. And my friend is running that organization of her own. And she left her husband also because he used to object for this services issue. So she is running of her own.
I understand.
To support her, I will help for the online also, if any such process is there.
Yeah, so one of the suggestions that we have in the chat from one of the other, from Ramakrishna, is that you could introduce her to Amazon or local stores, or maybe have your own website, make available on your own website that people can order or buy the products. Would this be possible for her to do?
Ma'am, we have already spoke with Amazon people, but they are not giving that price also what is our labor cost is. At least minimum we should meet that labor cost, right? They are selling in a high price by paying low to us. This is for a good cause.
Okay.
Yeah. I think she will share the PDF, Pravina Garu. Berith is going to, you can use the slide she has shown just before the breakout. And you can use that cycle of, options she has shown. And you can sit down and do your homework on how well you can market the product. Have you already used the channels, what she has shown? That would be a better option, Pravina Garu. See, because none of them can give you a solution without knowing the ground reality.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
You should be writing down the ground reality and you should use the options given here, mix them both, and then you will be able to get a solution.
Definitely,
I think that could
I'll
help
do
you.
this work with my friend as well. She knows better than me. It was just
exactly, Pravina Garu.
Right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pravina.
Thank you, Uma.
There are suggestions in the chat already as well, so take a look at that as well. Is there anyone else who wants to share their thoughts or their experience that they've been talking about in the breakout rooms? You can raise your hand and we can give you some time to speak about it.
Yes, there's actually a lot of suggestions now that are provided for Ms. Pravina, but make sure that you read the chat as well, because there's a lot of useful tips that might be applicable to your business as well.
So does anybody else want to share? No, I don't see any more hands raised. So I think, someone raised their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramakrishna Garu, please.
You're so welcome.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, Ramakrishna.
Great. See, 3 scenarios I seen, from the chart I seen. One is they are doing, normal business. They are just waiting for this, COVID to hold or stop so that they can do again. Like they said, it is under hold for the, lot of restrictions. And second one, they are like, affected, like, their business quantity reduced or cash flow reduced. And for that, they are looking for, like to search for better options or how to improve their sales. And third one is very optimistic people. They are looking for like new businesses to open, and they are like, gearing up, like they are improving their skills, overall skills, so that whatever business comes, they can catch straight away and, they can start it. So these three I see. And all three common I see is improve ourselves, like, use this time wisely to, do more networking and get better knowledge. That's what I see. Thank you.
Definitely. Actually, your phases you can plot one-on-one on the model that Janine was explaining earlier. That the first is that you go back to the basic stuff. What are you already doing? The second one is, oh, what am I experiencing and what can I do differently? And the third one is the grow facts or the grow zone. And then you go and experience and figure out if you can do more. Can you do better? Can you do differently? Can you figure out what customers want? So actually what you're saying is one-on-one, the same on how you can interpret the model. So thank you for sharing that.
That's what we in JCI do. Empower people, empower youth, yeah.
Learning by doing, right? Using it right way.
Yeah.
Are there other people that wants to share what they've been talking about in the breakout rooms? Don't see any more raised hands, I think.
No, so one of the things I would like to add, Berith, is that economy only runs when one person or one business starts running or producing or selling again. So please don't wait till the end of the crisis to start producing ideas or businesses or products or whatever. Someone has to start. So why not you? And the one that is on the front of the line usually makes the most money. So the one who has who takes some risks at this point or dares to be creative, that is the one who also makes money right now. And also this crisis time is a good time. Yes,
definitely. So we've been talking about the mindset, you as a leader, and then we've been talking about you as a business. So what is your core business and what can you do during the crisis? But it's also good to look ahead. Like Rama said, you need to figure out where there's more business. And the next speaker or the next trainer can tell a lot about that because she's been an entrepreneur for over a decade and she's very enthusiastic and always looking for more options and more ways of exploring. And I think she will give you some tools and will help you figure out how to make that next step, next move into your business. So without further ado, I will hand over my speaking torch to you, Karlijn.
Thank you very much, Berith. Janine, can you share the screen? Yes, it's going there. Great, good. So, how is the energy? I hope you're all doing well and we have got so much information and yet another hour to come. And I'm going to talk about business scenario planning with you. And business scenario planning, not only that, I'm going to give you a lot of business cases, examples of how business turned to another direction, maybe temporarily, but some really changed their businesses and business models. So I'm gonna talk you through this, and of course you get an assignment with this. So let's start with a business case, because what is business scenario planning? This online training is called Business in Crisis, and we're all in crisis. But there was one company in the Netherlands, which is called Auping. And maybe you know it. They're making beds. It's a Dutch bed and mattress manufacturer. It's quite a big company, and they saw, due to the lockdown, that people didn't buy new beds or mattresses. So they have their people, the sewers, they have the fabrics, all the materials, they have the machines, they had the real estate, all those elements. They had ready to make beds and mattresses, but there was no demand. So just like Berith told us, they were thinking, what is the biggest need at the moment? What does the Dutch government need? What do can we export? And I don't know how it's going in India, but in the Netherlands and also in Europe, we had a big, there was no supply of face masks. The face masks were all sold out, and we had to get them from China, and they were not good enough, and there was a big problem going on. So what did Auping do? Auping reinvented, they thought about all those elements of the business. They made a business inventory, and they created a system to make face masks. And how did they do that? They collaborated with a small designing agency. Like, for instance, I don't know if here are people who are in design or product design. There was a small company from a really small town in the Netherlands, which the company was called Panton. Nobody knew him. And they collaborated with Auping to make this face mask, to change the business in face masks. So they used the sewers, they used the fabric, they reprogrammed the machines, and they found another opportunity. And within 5 days, they had an order of 4 million face masks of the Dutch government. 4 million they had to produce. So they really thought about what is possible, what can we supply, who's buying, and how can we deliver. Besides that, there was something even more interesting happening. Oh, I have to go back. You see the business. Hello? Yeah. So besides that, Auping was all over the news. It was a big PR campaign, public relations campaign for this company, which was a side effect. But now we're talking about it to you in India. So how great is it that you as a company changed the business idea, use the Corona and the COVID-19 crisis as opportunity, and then also get an order and a lot of PR. So I hope that will inspire you to think about other opportunities of your business. And how you can do that, I will help you. I will help you. So first of all, I have to get something on my screen. Hold on. One back. Okay, there we go. Yes, it's good. It's good. Scenario planning contains a few ingredients. At first, you have to make a business inventory and go through all the elements, and I'll give you a lot of business cases, examples. So, for example, the first thing you do when you want to make a business scenario for your company, think about the people. What people are working for you, and are they still working at the moment? So, and where are they working from? Is that from home, or is that from a manufacturing plant? You have to know where the people are. Then you can reconsider what else can they do. So people in administration, maybe they can help in other parts of your business. When I gone through the questionnaire, I saw that most of the people, the participants, had a business with less than 80 employees. So if you have less employees, you have to train them to be multi-skilled. So you can use the skills in several places in the company. I saw also a participant with 14,000 employees, which is a bit of it different, but you can also replace the people within the company. So working where, what else can it do? How many do we have on contract, and do we have external contractors? So in the Netherlands, we have a big business running of what we call ZZP, that's entrepreneurs who work on their own, and they're contractors for other companies, mostly corporates. So do you have any contractors? And maybe I looked it up in India, there were day loaners, you have day loaners, and we got in the Netherlands a government which can supply some help. Is there a possibility for you, for those people as well? So the first inventory you have to make the people. And I want to give you an example. One of my clients which is a big e-shop in cosmetics and hair materials. And I've been walking through a strategic program. I've helped them with strategic plans for 2020. And when the the lockdown came, they didn't change their business at first, because the 80% of their clients, customers, were consumers. So they didn't go to the hairdresser, but they bought their hair stuff at that shop. And they did invested big on marketing. So they had a lot of orders. They didn't expect that. And then they did something funny, like crazy with the people. Here it comes. They had 2 hairdresser shops, and the big company was the e-shop, the web shop. So they took the hairdressers out of the saloon because it was closed. You can't go to the hairdresser, and they asked them to help in logistics. And you think, why is a hairdresser in logistics? Some of them, they were offered something else. I'm going to tell you about it. Some of them didn't want to speak on the phone with customers, because the first thing they offered was a customer care line for hairdressers. They invented the e-hairdresser, the internet hairdresser. So you can call, how can I do my hair when it's going longer? What do I do with gray hair? And what shampoo do I need to use? All these advice was for free. And they put the hairdressers on the phone, but some of them didn't want that because they were not feeling comfortable with this advice. So they asked them to help in logistics. In the end, they had all the people still working, made more turnover, and everybody was happy they still got their job. So that's a way of rethinking the people part in your business. Then go to machines. So if you have any machines within your company in use, most of the times these are computers. And the first thing you are already in lockdown for 2 months. So the most of the Zoom meetings, and I don't know if you use Microsoft Teams, all those IT infrastructure is already set up. So what capacity do you have? And Berith is working for the largest telco company in the Netherlands, so she knows these are the questions that the entrepreneurs have. But you can ask it yourself. My question about machines is, what's your capacity and do you use your capacity? Can you reprogram it? Like, for instance, Auping did. They reprogrammed not to sew a big mattress, but a small face mask. Can you share with competitors or rent out your machines? Maybe you'll have some machines which are very valuable, or maybe you're renting yourself, and maybe you can rent out or share it with other companies. And one of you, Janine or Berith, also said, can you decompose? Like if you have a side product or a waste product, can you decompose it and sell it maybe? So that's one way of thinking of machines. And one example of a company who doesn't own machines, but it's built on renting, it's Uber. You know Uber? I guess it's Uber also in India? Yeah, Uma, yes, okay. Uber, you know, from the taxi, but when people are in lockdown, they don't need a taxi. So what did they do when the restaurants started up again with delivery? They used Uber for delivery. So Uber Food was already a little bit growing, but it's growing a lot at the moment. So Uber really looked at the demand, what machines can we use where for, and then reset their business and repositioned their business. And it could be temporary, and I'm talking about the scenario later on. So what is temporary and what is staying? Another demand, maybe you can use your machine for the demand of the social distancing products. You know, there's a whole big product group going on. You saw those stickers on the floor. In the Netherlands, we have 1.5 meters, which is 60 inch something. How many inch? I don't know.
6 feet.
6 feet. 6 feet. We have 1.5 meters. You have 6 feet, so that's the social distancing. So you need stickers on the floor. You need these yellow clothes for people in stores to stay away. So there's another demand. Maybe you can use your machines. Just reconsider that. Okay, let's go to materials. And materials don't have to be physical materials. It can be stock. We talked about stock earlier. But you can also see your data as the materials in your business. So is there a possibility you can share your data? For example, in the whole how the pandemic grew, the data wasn't shared in the beginning, which happened then. We reacted quite late. So if there's a possibility you have some data you could share now to be in advance of some sort of problem or maybe advance of your competitors, just go for it. Look at your company, look at your business. What materials/data do we have and can we use? I want to give you another example of materials, and this is a very nice one. I was really touched and inspired by this. The Netherlands is known for their flowers, you know, the tulips and the beautiful flowers. Like we have a big flower business, and 85% of the business is for foreign countries, so for export. The company who, really the organization overall over all those flower companies is called Royal Flora Holland. And last week I spoke to its CEO, and he told me that in the first 2 weeks of lockdown, nobody bought any flowers. They have to throw away millions and millions of flowers. And what they did, it really hurt. And what they did, they filmed it. They made a film about that you saw the big flowers, roses. They threw them all in a container, and it was horrible to see. But they filmed it and then went to the TV stations, and they rang the emergency bell. They said to the TV stations, "Look at our sector. Look at what's happening. We have to destroy all the flowers because nobody is buying it." And then the Dutch people just were like, "Oh, we can't let that do." So everybody went to the shop and bought flowers. Not enough for the whole production, but it was another great PR campaign for the flower business. They lost, of course, a bit of the export, but now everybody knows what and is proud about the flowers made in Holland, and is buying a lot of more flowers. What else did they do? They used the flowers they were going to destroy to give it to the caretakers, the people in the hospitals, and the people who saw that on the television liked it so much. Then again, they bought new flowers. So it's all about the relation you have, and if you can show the world you're a good company and you're doing good things. So that is what they did better with materials. They could have also decided that we have to destroy it so nobody can see that, and we block that from the outside, and they destroyed the whole stock. But it didn't happen, not at all. Another small example of using your materials is a clothing store in Amsterdam, which is a high-end business. So for the tailor-made suits, and they have the nicest, finest things. And in lockdown, the shops didn't have to close in the Netherlands, but still there was a lockdown, not a hard one. You have to stay inside, but they advised the people or not to go outside, not to go to the shops. So this shop had no clients, no customers. So what did they do? They did two things. They thought, we have the materials, we have the machines, we have the people, we're gonna introduce 1 hour delivery. So when you, like a pizza, when you order shoes, you get 2 pairs of shoes brought with an e-bike or a scooter or a car, doesn't matter. Within an hour, the Netherlands is quite small, within an hour they got their order. And then the person could fit the shoes on, and they took back the size that it fit, which gave them a lot of credibility. The people liked it, and they bought more because the person who brought it also had a matching pair of ties, or, you know, upsell something. That was really cool what they did. So 1 hour delivery for tailor-made clothes. Not really tailor-made suit, but the shoes and accessories. And what else? They used influencers. In the Netherlands, we have a lot of famous football players, and they made this little vlog video with Ronald de Boer. Maybe you know him, but he's very famous. And he delivered one of the orders to the clients. So there was this famous Dutch influencer delivering an order like a pizza delivery boy. And that also gave, that video went viral. Again, PR campaign. So many opportunities, I've been talking for a while now. Is it okay? Still no questions? I'm not looking at the chat. I'm so sorry. Berith?
Okay, Karlijn. There's been a couple of nice examples. So, as in India, we have 2 food delivery services, Zomato and Swiggy, and the state government has recently tied up with Zomato to deliver vegetables. Well, the regular thing was food delivery for restaurants, from restaurants. So they've actually turned their business around and used their materials. And I got a message that it's getting quite late in India. So if we could maybe come to a wrap up, and maybe you could share just your most valuable points with us, and we'll give them some homework to do from the last slide. How about that?
It's all fine with me. It's all fine with me. Yeah, let's jump into the business scenario planning, because, thank you, Janine, if you do your inventory, then you can go to the business scenario planning. So business scenario planning contains roughly 3 ingredients. The possible scenarios based on the uncertainties that exist. That's the first one. The financial consequences that you can have, and what you can do to limit the impact, the buttons you can turn. So there will be several scenarios per organization, each of which reflects on certain degrees of seriousness. So when I look into the scenario planning, for example, you have to face the challenges within the uncertainties. And what you can do is, when you make a scenario, make 3 scenarios. The first one is the best case scenario, and that will be probably be that business recovery will start after the summer, like in September, in the last quarter of 2020, and then full recovery will be in 21, the first quarter of 21. Yeah, that will be a best case scenario, but there will be a most likely case that only recovery can start in 2021, and there will be a worst case scenario, and the economists are talking about 2023. So you have to make different scenarios with all different levels. And what does the scenario consist? First, when you talk about uncertainties, you have to know what restrictions you'll get. For example, I talked about the 2 feet social distancing, but is this the next normal, or is the temporary abnormal? Think about that for your business. Can you transition your business to this next normal? Or, for example, for a restaurant, it's not possible, small place, you can't live on 4 tables. You have 14 now, you can't live on 4. So that's a scenario. Can you adjust to the next normal, or is it a temporary abnormal? As we speak at this moment, our Dutch government is giving a press conference about our lockdown, so we're quite curious what's happening. We'll see it after this online training. Let's go to the impact. and then keep it short. What impact can you expect? It's all, first you have to look at your sector. What's the expectation of your sector, of your business? Then you go tailor-made, and then you go, what's your margin? Do you have any numbers? Do you have people who can advise you? Maybe people from their bank or insurance company. They have big reports on the COVID-19 and all the economy, what's happened, the impacts. So use other people, make your own small crisis team, choose your crisis team advisors. Don't try to do it all yourself. For the impact parts, choose a few advisors who can help you. And then, it's magic of numbers. Just throw down a few numbers, and then you have the feeling that there will be one of the scenarios. And then at last, very important, the buttons you can turn on. Because if you have influence, there is a possibility to change. You have influence on your mindset, like Janine told you. You have influence on your relations, like Berith told you how to do that. You have a tremendous possibility for PR campaigns if you're doing well or you're collaborating. Maybe there are emergency funds. You can turn that button as well. And use your circle of influence, your network. You are here in the JCI network, which is great, and you can use it. So I want to wrap it up, like scenario planning ingredients. When you all write down the different elements, and I told you a lot, then you make a story, not a spreadsheet. Really, I want to encourage you, make a story, not a spreadsheet. Your job as a leader is to inspire others, and you won't do that with spreadsheets. So if you want to do this good scenario planning, then you should be prepared to incorporate new information and your approach as soon as possible. So have your advisors, you don't have to do it all yourself, and then make your story. That will work out. So, and it's up to me to make it a bit easier, and that's my assessment or assignment for you. And I want to encourage you to develop this one. What processes in your business or service or products do you want to pause, or do you have to pause? They don't sell, they don't work, the people are not in the right place, so we can't run the business, the product line is not good. So what is need to be paused? Just write it down for yourself and accept that for a moment, because it's a pause. Then you will discover, when you have your inventory and your business scenario planning, what is outdated. Maybe some of your products or services reach their expiration dates or era, because we have to. I hear this a lot when I talk to economics. There's a post COVID-19 period. You know, there's a period before and a period after, and we have to change. Really, the only permanent thing in the world is change. So when you accept that, then it's okay to stop things. And that's the hardest thing to do. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I had to stop things sometimes, and it feels like kill your darlings. You know, you've grown them and you nurture them, and sometimes you just have to stop it and let other people advise how to stop things. But it'll give you relief, and it gives you new energy to do other things. And that's the last one. What is needed now? What can you do now? That's the first step. You can only do one thing now, and then in the future, and then make your business ready to start. And I want to encourage you to do this assignment for yourself. Janine, Berith, are there questions or suggestions or no? I understand after 2 hours of training, that's a bit of.
Yes, definitely. Well, some of the discussion is about that this time would be a great time to actually explore what what we can do, what we can implement in plans. So Uma suggested that it would be a good time now to actually try out some new things and do it partially, because every business is sort of partially running anyway. Niraja has also commented that change is continuous, and I think, well, change is the essence of life. So change is going to come.
Yes,
It's more how you deal with it and how you handle it if you and your business are going to be successful.
And unfortunately, this change is very uncertain, what we're going to see now.
Absolutely.
It's not at all predictable. Every day is a surprise.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So how about somebody who wants to react on this, or questions, or want to share something?
Sorry, ladies, I think it's quite late.
Yes.
So it's around 11. So 11 p.m. here.
Yeah.
So I think it's mostly like a sleep mode. Apologies for that. I think you could. It's been a wonderful session. So we would please request you to share the PDF and the homework. I'm sure that it would be great to evaluate by themselves, because as we can only give a guidance and a suggestion. However, when they check it on the ground reality, that's when they realize their point of view and how they can implement it.
Yes, absolutely. And we would like to invite all participants to actually share what they have implemented in their businesses. And please add us on LinkedIn, or if you have any questions, feel free to contact us for the coming months as well. Because sometimes you hear something now, you try to implement it, and then the questions come. So no problem. If you have any questions left, please feel free to answer them, to ask them us later. No problem.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It was very nice to be here and to meet you all. And we hope we gave you some inspiration and motivation to change your business in crisis.
Absolutely, indeed. Joshi garu, would you like to put a word, or can I go ahead?
I think I request any 3 participants to give feedback.
Yes, please. I request any of the participants to please give feedback.
One by one.
Good. Then we finished this session. What is the thing?
Anyone? Oh, there are people raising their hands.
But just to tell you, it was wonderful, and we are also honored to that you have accepted our invitation. And we thank Ravi, JC Ravi Kant Reddy Garu, for connecting our JCI Vizag with you 3 wonderful ladies out there. And definitely it's an insightful session, and the learning has gone through across the oceans. It's kind of, we have been sharing the knowledge, and somewhere there is a comfort level that it's just not us in this situation. The world out there is the same, and the other side of the coin is also the same. So the human mentality is such that when you know that someone is also in pain, there is some comfort level. Okay, I'm not alone. So it's not just the Indian businesses are in crisis, but now we got to know that even in Netherlands. So there is some commonality. Yes.
We are in shared misery.
Yeah, absolutely. The same here. They're putting up smiling faces, but however, the reality is very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It will take time for us to bounce back. Yes.
Yeah.
So Any feedback?
Thank you for your hospitality. It's been our pleasure as well.
And on a lighter note, there are a lot of compliments coming out for you three that you're very pretty. All three of you are very pretty. And, you know, they were able to connect very well.
Okay. Well, thank you. We feel honored that we could contribute to your businesses.
Yes,
and
yes.
Please stay in touch. We would love to help you even more if we can.
Very
See,
good.
you have some, you know, followers already. They want a session 2 from you.
Yeah, I read it. Yes.
Wow.
So I request all the participants, if you want, JCI Vizag would share their LinkedIn profiles. You can connect with them and you can pose any of your doubts with them, and they will be happy and glad to answer you over there. So I'm sure they'll be open to that. So Joshi Garu, can I do the vote of thanks as we don't have any feedback?
Vote of thanks by project chairperson.
Ma'am, can I?
Magaru.
Yes, please.
We have Nirja Garu and Ramakrishna Garu hands raised.
Okay, please. It would be wonderful to hear a feedback. Wonderful.
Hi, can I talk now?
Here.
Yes, Ramakrishna.
Thanks to all three wonderful ladies from Netherlands for reaching out and share your views with us. It is not totally different from our view, but you added more to our knowledge. And yes, we are looking for extended session 2 with more, because once you get all our feedback, and only thing we should not circulate now is virus, knowledge, resources, money, everything we can rotate, and any plan we do for that, it will bring a big change. So together we can do a lot more than an individual. Thanks a lot. It's a great session. Thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, all three of you. In fact, I had a very bad headache before the session started. But now, trust me, I'm so happy and I'm very active. The thing which I really like is, if you have observed the questionnaire, the result says 55% of the business people here who have taken the test are doing their business out of passion. For them, it is really difficult to change the line of business, but I would suggest that's the only way to come out. Don't be too much passionate about something what you're doing. At times it is really good to have plan B. As I told you, change is continuous. If you accept and move ahead, you can grow. Otherwise you will have to go out of business. And talking about this COVID scenario, good thing is Earth is reviving, and it's proven that Earth is a very small place now. See, all of us are together chatting at this point of time, which is really good. And we Indians have already accepted that building immunity is the only way to fight COVID, and we are getting ready for it. And I hope all of us are together in this, and all of us will come out very soon. And I'm sure we'll get a lot of other good ideas. New businesses would start up and new relations would build, and you never know, we'll all meet again soon. And thank you very much for JCI Vizag for this wonderful session, and thank you, three of you.
Thank you, Neeraja. I would like to add one more point to continue with Neeraja. Neeraja, you said right that all of 55% are the passionate that we are working. No need to come out of this, but as Karlijn said, we have a resources. For example, they said that they have a mattresses company. They have a resources, but they don't know how to use. Finally, they got an idea that they can do masks. Those ideas we have to start. thinking. That's it. Just small change.
True, true. This is a wonderful learning from this session.
Yes,
Thank
true,
you.
true. With the
Thank you,
little,
Vivek.
with the equipment you have, how you turn around and how you manage or, turn around the business to a different level is very important. Yes. You need to, the new profit cycle is, you need to know the end user, their needs, and kind of develop it around, in those aspects. Yes, definitely.
That's a nice summary, Uma.
And, next
Thank you.
is Pravina. She raised the hand. Pravina, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Just would like to be thankful to JCI Vizag for conducting international training for us, especially for the people who are into business and giving them ideas that doing a single business is not the only thing we can do, and add some more business ideas in the unseasonal place. So by categorizing different in material wise or in other category, which ma'am has said. And one more thing I would like to request to share that recording. Those who people have missed to attend this.
Sure, Pravina.
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much, Joshi garu. Thank you so much, Uma Alluri ma'am, to be so
thank you,
patientful with me, especially. నాకు వచ్చిందా ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాట్లాడి మీ అందరిని చంపుతున్నాను.
Not at all, Andy. This is a learning session, mutual interaction. Not at all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you
Pleasure
so much.
having you in the session.
My pleasure, ma'am. Thank you.
Now, a vote of thanks by our project chairperson, JC Uma garu.
Right. I do recognize that, our national president is not online now, but however, still I would continue a vote of thanks to him. So just to mention, since the lockdown started, JCI India has pioneered and inspired many sessions that have engaged our members in this time of crisis. I thank the architect of these sessions, our president, JCI PPP Anish C. Mathew, for his support and making them a great success. I thank our guest of honor, JCI Senator Ravi Shankar garu, for honoring us with his presence, and our zone president, JCI PPP Rajita Poosarla garu, for her great guidance and support as and when our zone needed. Thank you, Janine, Berith, and Karlijn for an insightful and engaging session. It is an honor you accepted our invitation to facilitate the session. It is pleasure knowing you, and we are thankful for giving a global perspective in understanding the business crisis and the many ways to handle it. We are indeed very grateful and honored to have you on the session. And I also thank JCI India Author and our 2017 President, JFM S. Ravikant Reddy, for being a pillar of support from behind the scenes, and my immense gratitude goes to our 2020 President, JCI Vizag, JCHGF Architect Joshi Raju, for giving me this opportunity and bringing me out of the comfort zone. I thank you, Joshi Garu, because I'm very new to JCI. I'm just about 3 months old, right just before lockdown, and thanks for having confidence and giving me this opportunity, which indeed will help me in bringing out the best out of me. Thank you so much once again to the participants for being so patient, and and also Ramakrishna Garu, Neeraja Garu, Brahmaji Garu. There are a lot of people. I know it's quite late today. The session is running a little late, not a little late. Yes, it is running late. So thank you for being so patient with us, and good night to all of you, and good evening to the ladies in Netherlands. Please catch up with the Dutch government, whatever, updates you're getting, and do keep in touch with us, and hopefully we'll have a second session with you. Thanks a lot, and over to the Chair President, sorry.
JCI Vizag online business training titled Business in Crisis, organized by on 19 May 2020, is hereby adjourned. See you guys. Good night.